All right, ready? So we have some rules here that we need to remember, right? And you would recognize to use these rules, they must be in the same what? Same base, right? So base and power. So if you have the same base and you're multiplying, what do you do here? Add. Nice. Same base and you're dividing. What you do? Subtract. Anything to the power of 0 is? Whenever you're multiplying and whenever you have an indices or indices, what you do? Multiply. Right? Right. What does it minus by the indices mean? It means divided, right? Nice. So it's 1 over e to the n. Right? And last one, how do you write it? N through to a. This is the one that we're gonna use today. How you write this? Right. This is an 1 over n. All right. So these are the rules that you're supposed to know. And today we're going to focus on something called surds. Right? And these belong to the irrational. So we're going to take a look at surds. All right. So the first thing that we're going to look at is some of the rules of surds. But for me to develop these rules, I have to use all of these here. All right, copy them down. This is e to the power of 1 over n, right? E to the power of 1 over n. Ready? Right. So the first rule is how do we write, what does the square root of a mean? What is the square root? So if you see the square root symbol, but you're not seeing a number in here, what understood? A 2 is understood. Okay? So if you just see the square root sign, a 2 is understood inside it. So the square root of a is really that. And how do we write the square root of a? The square root of a is a to the power of a half. Have you okay with that? Second rule. What is the square root of a multiplied by the square root of a? Right? Watch this here. Watch this here. A. Somebody said a. Let's see that correct. What is square root of a again? The square root of a is a to the power of a half. Multiply by a to the power of a half. That's okay? What will happen here? Same base, add the powers. So you will end up with a to the power of 1. So square root of a by square root of a is a. You okay with that? Yes? Okay. Online, are you okay with us? Okay, nice. Now, what is a divided by the square root of a? What do you all think? Before I work it out. Can do it in your head. Use this as an example. What do you think is this? Use this to help you. A to the power of a half. Right? Here's what you can do. And we just learned that a to the power of 1 is this. Yeah? So can I write root a by root a over root a? What will happen? Cancel. So you'll get the square root of a. Yeah? Or next way to do it. This is a to the power of 1. This is a to the power of a half. You divide it, right? 1 minus a half is, using that rule, 1 minus a half is a half. Right? This one is not a rule from there, but I just want to hear what you'll think about this. What do you think this is? You have a root A and a root A, and you added them up. Think about it. Any answers here? Online? Any answers here? I think. Yes. One person said A, but then you're saying that this is the same thing. Okay, that in our reach. I feel it happens in here. What do you think? Solomon, any answer here? None? No guess? So think about this. Take off the root A and put x on x. What's x plus x? 2x and? So what is root A plus root A? 2 root A. 2 root A. Right? So if you add a root A and a root A, you'll get 2 root A. Right? Again, any answers online there? I just get no. Oh, okay. Square root of 2 root A. That was close. Who's that? Sajad. Very good. That was close, Sajad. Glad you wake up on in class too, Sajad. Just so you're paying attention. Yes, sir. What do you give it up? Copy it down. Copy down the first set of rules. Right? We're going to combine the rule with something else now. Right? The good or bad thing is that there are no questions, like there is no like number 2 that gives you a Surd question in past papers. What you will see in Surds is that every question, logs or indices or trigs, they will ask you to simplify the Surds. So you mightn't see like number 3 as Surds, but within all the questions, you have to be able to handle Surd. Okay? Right, so you have to be able to handle this. The Casio calculators could also help you here. Sharp can't, right? Sharp will give you values, right? If you have a Casio calculator, it will help you work with Surds. All right, so we have a next one here to try, right? Suppose I gave you something like this: root A minus root B, I took plus C, multiplied by root A minus root B, right? How are we going to expand that out? Right? But normally what you will do here, 2 by x, x plus 3. What you will do, and you'll multiply 2 by x, 2 by 3, x by x, x by 3. So we do the same thing there, right? We'll do the same thing here, right? Root A by root A is what? Root A by root A is A. Oh, I forgot to give you this rule here. Call this one 5, call this one 6. The write one as yet. What is root A multiplied by root B? Right? But whenever you have to multiply roots like this, right? What the rule is, so for example, if I said what is root 2 by root 3, all you have to do is take the roots on the outside and multiply the 2 values. 6. Right? One of the ways for you to see it is like this. This is 2 to the power of a half, and this is 3 to the power of a half. Can I add the powers here? No, I can't, because they are different bases. So all I could do is factor out the half. And 2 by 3 is 6. Okay? But if this don't make sense, don't worry too much. I will tell you this. Root 2 by root 3, Root 2 by root 3 is root 6. Okay, multiply the values inside and then put the square root over there. Okay, so what do you think is root A by root B? Root A. Okay, so here now, root A by root A is A. Root A by minus B is minus root AB. Yeah? Root B by root A is plus root AB. Root B by minus root B is minus. Right? Root B by root B is B. Plus by minus is minus. What would happen here? Cancel off, right? These two will cancel off and you'll get A minus. Okay? Copy it down. And then we can start some examples. All right, ready? Let's try some examples. Number one, root 2 plus root 2. Number two, 3 root 2. 3 root 2 minus 2 root 2. Number three, 5 over root 5 plus 2 root 5. Number 4, square root of 2. Right, so we're gonna use Surds now to work out all of these here. If you can do them, go right ahead. If you can't, I don't do them. All right, let's go now. So let's start here. The good thing, although you'll have to show working, is that you can put these things in a calculator and work it out. Right? If you have a Casio, if you have a sharp, you can. Right? So let's go through all of them, right? Let's start here. What is the square root of 2 plus the square root of 2? What do you think this is? 2 root 2. Picture it just like this. Right? If you're not seeing it all, what you can do is not write that, right? What you can do is picture root 2 as x, and there's an x. X plus x is 2x. So root 2 plus root 2 is 2 root 2. Right? What about here now? Ashu, I think this is. Take off the root 2 for x. It's like 3x minus 1 root 2. Right? Next one. Next one here. I don't have much space here, but focus on the left-hand side first. What is 5 over root 5? We find out some other names. Solomon. What is 5 on root 5? Root 5. And now you're going to add root 5 to 2 root 5. So what is 1 root 5 plus 2 root 5? 3 root 5. 3 root 5. Right? Go ahead. Have fun. Do this one. Try this one here. Online, message your answer for number 4. Remember, you're using example 6. I'll see what the last one. I work this one out. After you work it out, put it in a calculator and see if you get the same answer. Right, I'll take a little help from Sarah for this one. Take your time. Right, do it just like this. After you work it out, put it in a calculator and see what you get. Supposed to get a minus value. Take all the way out there. Finish out here, like the last part. One more. Right here. Take go ahead. Right, so watch here. Nice, cheat and check it back. A small mistake. I see you make a little mistake. Right? So let's start here. Root 2 by root 2. Right? Root 2 by root 2 is just simply, right? Root 2 by root 3. This is a minus. So it's minus root 2 by root 3 is root 6. Right? Same thing here. Root 3 by root 2. Root 3 by root 2 is positive root 6. Root 3 by root 3. Sorry, positive by minus is a minus. Root 3 by root 3 is 3. These two will cancel. And you have 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Right? So the answer was minus 1. Copy down. Let's go again. Right? You have to message your answers, right? Either it's so a little mistake. Right, good job, Tyler, Tanisha. Right, before I make it harder, I get this right anyway. And we don't make it too hard. Suppose I ask something like that. 2 root 3 multiplied by 4 root. Without putting the calculator, what can we do? Yeah. Right. And then multiply the right. So you so similar thing, bring a like terms together, multiply them, and then multiply root 3 by root 2. 2 by 4 is root 3 by root 2 is. That's okay? Yeah. So you multiply the numbers, then the surds. Right? And one last thing. Can we simplify that? Can we break down root 18 a little bit? So I want to simplify it. 18 to the power a half. Okay, that's one option. But our next option is what we could do is we could break this down in terms of root 2. Right? Here's how. 18 is what? 18 is 9 multiplied by 2. Correct? And remember, I showed you a rule where if you have products in here, well, this is the reverse of the rule. If you had root A by root B, you got root AB. Remember that? Can I go in reverse? Can I say root AB is root A by root B? So can I say root 9 is root 3? Sorry. Can I say that root 9 is root 9 by 2 is root 9 by root 2? Root 9 is 3 root 2. That's okay. So what I did here is I simplified this by using our where's called 9 again? 9 is caller. Perfect. So in order for you to simplify numbers like this, you have to look for the perfect square. That's okay? Copy it down and just try one for me now. Oh, yeah, they go in there with 3 hours. Yeah, just tell her what they have class there now. Right? I wonder why. So she online. She was online. She was online. Right. Ask until what time because yeah, but they had to go there. Right. So you want to break up this? Then I want to see you try to add this. Right? Which two numbers we could use? Right, sorry, yeah. 32. What we could use? 16, yeah. I like it 16. 4 could work 4 and 8 as well, but I like the 16 by the 2. If you use 4 and 8, you'll have to break it down one more step. Okay? So 32 is what? 32 is 16 by 2. So this is root 16 by root 2, which is 4 root 2. All right? Copy that down and try number 8. I think it's see what I'm doing here to break this up, right? This one here, the problem is we can't add them because it's two different surds, right? So you have to simplify root 8 so you could add them. How much you get? 5. So you have to simplify them in order to add them, right? Right? And use the calculator as well and make sure you get the same value, right? Use the calculator and just make sure you get the same value. Let's see what do it. Yeah. No. Yeah, that's not new. I'm fair person. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So we learned, we know that 8 is what? We know that 8 is 4 by 2. So that's 2 root 2. Right? So it will be 2 root 2 plus 3 root 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. That's okay. Kind of here. A little more complicated. A little. Right? Take your time and go through all the steps there. Start with until you finish, huh? Down to. Now done, take your time and this one a little bit harder. Now done, take your time, make it a little bit harder. Things might be cancelled off like the last one. Online, could you send this one? You might be able to. Check your calculator after. Oh, not 3 by 4 is plus 30. Let's do 2 by 2. Oh. That's just 16. Let me see, let me see if you make that. Right, all they don't forget root 2 by root 2 is 2. Root 3 by root 3 is 3, right? Okay, we have 2 minutes again. What's this? Nice. Let's see, so I've seen some little mistakes. Let us see. Right, so let's see. So I've seen some mistakes, right? Right, root 3 root 2, and the mistake is here. 3 root 2 multiplied by 4 root 2. 3 by 4 is what? Root 2 by root 2 is? So the answer is 24. Right? So 3 by 4 is 12. Root 2 by root 2 is 2. That's okay? So 3 root 2 by 4 root 2 is 24. Then, most people had this right. 3 root 2 by 5 root 2 is 15 root 6. Minus root 3 by 4 root 2 is minus 4 root 6. Minus root 3, right? And maybe make a mistake here as well. Root 3 multiplied by 5 root 3. A 1 understood here, right? 1 by 5 is? Root 3 by root 3 is? 3. 5 by 3 is? 15. So you'll get minus 15 here. So you'll get 24, bring your like terms together. 24 minus 15. 15 root 6 minus 4 root 6. 24 minus 15, that is 9. 15 minus 4 is 11. Okay, so it combines everything that we did today, right? So again, I want to go over this because I've seen a little mistake here, right? The little mistake is 3 by, you're doing the same thing like number 5. 3 by 4, root 2 by root 2, right? Some of you are making a mistake, right? Remember, root 2 by root 2 is 2, right? Once you have the same roots and you're multiplying them, just take off the roots. Take off the square root. Root 3 by root 3 is 3. Root 2 by root 2, 2. And then simplify it. Are you okay with that? Right? Before I make it a little bit, before I change it up, try one more. Time with this one, all the steps, right? Mohammed. You were here yesterday, last week too? Last week? You were here last week?
No, the last week I was.
You were here? You get the class now? Right, yeah. Alexander. Tyra. Last week, you were here last week. Matthias. You were here last week. Ariana. Ariel. Ariel. Oh, online. You were here last week, Ariel. No. All right. See you around. Sanjay, you get bunch of money. Samaya. Samaya. You were here last week, Samaya. Jordan. Online. Nadia. Kang. Nadia. Susan. Loving mother in. Megan. Sydney. Online. Tyler. Let's Tyler online. Right, put in here the name. Ready? Let's take a look at this here. Right? Let's take a look at this here, right? Ready? Kidan? All right, Kidan, help me out here now. So Kidan, what you think is 5 root 3 by 6 root 3? 50 by 3. Right? So 5 root 3 by 6 root 3 is 30 by 3, which is 9. Then come in here, right? 5 root 3 by 2 root 5 is 10 root 50. 5 by 2 is 10. Root 3 by root 5 is root 50. Minus 4 by 6 is 24. Root 5 by root 3 is root 15. All right? 4 by 6 is 24. Root 5 by root 3, root 15. And last one, minus 4 by 2 minus 8. Root 5 by root 5 is 5. Okay? 90 minus, so that'll be what? 90 minus 40. 10 root 15 minus 24 root 50. 90 minus 40, that's 50. Right? And 10 minus 24 is minus 14. That's it? Are you okay with that? Right. I know they're probably not getting any hang of it, but I have one more thing to add on. And that's the end of Surds. Right? So we dealt with multiplication. But here's the problem that we're going on to now, right? the problem we're going on to is sometimes you will get something with a fraction, right? Sometimes you will get something with a fraction. What are you gonna do? All right, we have to do a technique called rationalization. Okay, so we're going to rationalize to simplify this. So head up, rationalization. Right, head up, rationalization. Yeah, before I go up. Right here, head up Surds. Lord. Head up rationality. And the last one. Go for the last one. So the last one, this one here, Diego. This one. Yeah. So 5 root 3 by 6 root 3. 5 by 6 is 30. Root 3 by root 3 is 3. 30 by 3 is 90. Right? Then I multiply 5 root 3 by this. 5 by 2, 10. Root 3 by root 5 is root 15. Then 4 root 5 by 6 root 3. 4 by 6 is 24. Root 5 by root 3 is root 50. And I'm doing the same thing here. Minus root 4 by 2 is 8. Root 5 by root 5 is 5. Right? And then you work them out. 8 by 5 is 40. Bring the like terms together, I got 50. 10 minus 24 is minus 40. All right? So yeah, let's take your time and do it piece by piece, right? Okay. The last thing that we have to do is something called right? It's called rationalization. All right? And before we do rationalization, we need to learn about the conjugates. We need to learn about something called the conjugate. I feel that's spelled that wrong, right? I'm looking right. Right? So we need to learn about conjugate. So what is a conjugate? If we have A plus root B or A minus root B, the conjugate is simply changing the sign in the middle. Right? So the conjugate of this is A minus root B. The conjugate of this, A plus root B. Right? What about if I had minus A minus root B? What would the conjugate of all of this be? Do I have to change the sign here? No, it just changes sign in the middle. Okay? So it becomes minus A plus root B. That's okay? So please remember that, right? Minus A plus root B. So whenever you see conjugate, you change the sign in the middle. Right? So I want to understand the concept of conjugate, right? Are you ready? So how do we simplify Surds? In order to simplify something like this, we have to apply a technique called rationalization. So you see this here? We do not want a Surd at the bottom. We want a value. We want like 4 or 5 or something. We don't want any Surd. So what you just do is just multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate of the denominator. So your denominator is C minus root B. What's the conjugate of that? C plus root B over itself. C plus root B. Right? If you multiply something by this is technically what? This is 1 end. If you multiply anything by 1, you'll get back the original thing. That's okay? So we're not changing the value. All we're going to do here is we're going to end up simplifying the denominator and get rid of the Surd. That's okay? So let me show you an example here. How do I simplify this division here? I have to multiply by the conjugate of the denominator. So that'll be 4 minus root 2 over 4 minus root 2. Let's talk about the denominator first. I don't want you to always have to multiply it out. There's a shorter way. If you remember, whenever you do it like this, you'll recognize that the things in the middle cancel off. So we don't want to waste time writing that. All we write here is this. The first value squared minus the second value squared. That's it. 4 by 4, root 2 by root 2. That's it. Don't worry with the middle because they'll cancel out. And then we had to work on top. 3 by 4 is 3 by root 2 is minus 3 root 2. Root 2 by 4 is minus 4 root 2. Root 2 by root 2 is plus 2. And then we finish it up here. 12 plus 2, that's 14. Root 3 minus 3 minus 4, minus 7. 4 squared is 16, minus 2 is, and you can leave it like that. Right? If you want, you can divide by 4, but for now, you leave it like that. Actually, let me do one more because we divide both of them by 14, right? 14 and 14, that's 1. 7 and 14, that's a half. So you can leave it like this. Everybody okay with us? So what do? You multiply by the conjugate of the denominator. So if you have 4 plus root 2, it becomes 4 minus root 2. All right? Copy it down. Any questions online? Tyler, are you okay? Try number 2. Yeah, so Tanisha, watch it here. So you multiply by the conjugate of the denominator, right? So if you have 4 plus root 2, it becomes 4 minus root 2. And you do it over itself. The reason you're doing this is that so that you're technically multiplying the fraction by 1. So you're not really changing the overall answer. Right? And then you multiply. 3 by 4 is 12. 3 by minus root 2. Minus 3 root 2. Minus root 2 by 4. Minus root 2 by minus root 2. Right? And then you multiply out here. 4 by 4, 16. Root 2 by root 2. Root 2 squared. That's it, right? Just square these two. Square these two and put a minus sign in the middle. And then expand it out. All right? Try this here. And get one hand working forward. I lost it. Possible for Mexico. Can you get John?
Yeah.
Up it. Pressure. Very good. Up on. Number 35 by the seconds. Then 5 by the minutes. Same thing you was doing and the other ones. 5 by 6, 5 by 2, 3 by 7. On that. How about you?
Sorry.
Yeah. Question. Well done. I'm kidding. Harder. Hard. Once you remember the first step, it's very similar to what we did all the time. Right, some people getting some trouble, so let me help you out a little bit. So you're multiplying by what? What you're multiplying by 3. Right? Let me write the denominator now. Denominator is always what? Squared minus squared. Nice. How you get the numerator now? Right? 5 by 6, which is 5 by root 3, which is minus root 3 by 6 is minus 6 root 3 minus root 3 by plus root 3 is. That's okay? So the same things that you've been doing all the time. Are you okay with that? Right? 6 squared is 36. Root 3 squared is 3. All right? 30 minus 3. 5 minus 5 minus 6. 30 minus 3 is 27. 5 minus 6 is 1. 36 minus 3 is 52. You can leave it like that. Online? Yeah, that's all. There is it. The company going to do this one, right? Yeah? Are you okay? Huh? Yeah, I'll send that. If the fellow send it to you. Very confused? Last one I'm done, right? That's the end of series. Once you can do that, that's the end of it. So what it will do is You might see in a question that you got your answer looking like this. And they will say, use Surds to simplify as far as possible. Right? So in order for you to simplify that, you have to do these steps here. All right, let's try one more and we're done. Let's combine everything that we did today. Try that. Last one. Right? You picture a sentence for homework, right? You want a sentence for homework. Let's go and get my passing bubble.
Experience. Oh, stop. Don't go line with you. Wait, wait. Yeah. Hold on.
Right, you want to send it to homework, right? Right, you want to send on the group there to homework. It's a nice whole number, right? So take your time, you want to do homework, it's 4 parts. Take your time with this one as well. What do we multiply by again? What do we multiply by, Alexandra? Multiply by what? 4 minus 3 root 3 and 3 root 3. Very good. All right. And then take your time. The reason I give you this one is because it have little numbers on the outside, right? So what would the denominator here be? 4 squared minus 3 root 3 squared. Very good. And then take your time with the numerator. 5 by 4 is 5 by minus 3 root 3 is minus 15 root 3. That's okay? Minus 2 root 3 by 4 minus 8 root 3. Right? And be careful here. What is 2 root 3 by 3 root 3? 2 by 3 is root 3 by root 3 is 2 by 3 is 6. Root 3 by root 3 is 3. Yeah? Sure? So the answer is 18. Remember, minus and a minus is a plus. Right? Yeah, we're gonna do everything, don't worry. 20 plus 18 is what? 38 minus 15 minus 8 is what? Minus 23. Now, 4 squared is what? Right. Pay attention in here. Right? 3 squared is what? Root 3 squared is what? That's it. So your numerator is 38 minus 23 root 3. 16 minus 27 is what? 16 minus 27 is minus what? 11. Anybody get all that? All the way down there? Very good. Right, so this was the hardest one. It was a hard one because I combine all these little numbers here. All right? You're okay with this? Yeah? Take a look at the homework before we leave. The homework have 4 parts in it. You all seen it? What's the homework on the group? What is that? Yeah, let's right, look at the homework. So the homework have 4 parts in it. Wow. Those who know in the chat, don't tell them, right? I'm adding now. Yeah?
Wait.
Yeah,
Can you repeat that?
I'll show you the homework. Yeah? Yeah. Right? If you look at the homework has 4 parts. The homework has 4 parts. You're doing each one individually. You're supposed to get a whole number. Okay? So all I want you to do for me is try the homework. And I'm gonna try to then you're not everybody on the other mess up yet. Yeah.
Only have one question.
Yeah, we have 4 parts in it. 4 things is summing up, right?
I'm saying 4 5 only for you.
How much is some is here? Something plus something plus something plus something. Yeah, 4 terms here.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
4 terms to add.
Oh, cool.
Right? Really good. Yeah, you have individual. All right. Take a little break from us, right? 5 minutes. Yeah.